Good evening, everybody. Hopefully that worked. Just realised I didn't have the camera turned on. And it has a great problem, issue, whatever you want to call it, of not actually turning on when I first switch the scene over. So anyways, how are you? Hope you're all well. Sorry I didn't stream last week, and it was a bit of a last minute thing, but yeah, I don't know what was going on last week. Just randomly felt not in the right frame of mind for streaming, so. But we are here this week. We are slightly more refreshed. I think I was overtired last week. I think that's what the issue was. Too many bloody late nights and too many disturbed nights and too many early. Well, there's always too many early mornings. But that comes with the territory of having a dog. He needs let out before the bloody sun rises, because sunrises are getting so bloody late in the day. So anyways, hope you're all well. Good evening, Andrew. Good evening, Simon. Good evening, Sten. Good afternoon, Ozzy. Hope you're well. And good evening, Serge. Lovely to see you all. Thank you very much for coming along. Ozzy, I presume you're working. I presume you sneakily got me on in the corner. Evening, Sergio. How are you, sir? So what's the crack from the last fortnight then? Seeing as I haven't seen any of you for 2 weeks. Hope you're all good. Anything new? I've ordered something new, which will be here hopefully mid-November. Which is, I'm saying I'm excited about it. I think it'll hopefully benefit stream a bit more, and it should certainly hopefully benefit YouTube as well. Which is the same as me. I'm all right this week. Just last week was a bit of a mess. I don't know what was the matter with this last. Like I said, just tired, I think. But this week, I've either adjusted to that tiredness, or I've got a little bit more sleep. I don't know, because it's the same thing. New costume, because it's Halloween next week. The new costume has arrived. So I will be donning said costume next week. It is extremely snug. I think it's probably got less room than what the Superman one has. So it's very tight. I mean, it's not sized for somebody my size. It is very much. It's the biggest size you can get, but it's more for size for height-wise and muscle-wise, not somebody as rotund as me. Yeah, it'll be fine if I'm sitting down, Serge. Well, yeah, exactly. It'll be fine if I'm sitting down. My main issue, Andrew, sorry. My main issue is that I have to be zipped into it because it's basically just a lycra jumpsuit type of thing. Is that the right word for it? So it's basically a skin tight suit with a mask, and the day it arrived, I did try it on, but I need to do. I don't know what. There's no women in here yet this evening. I don't know if there's a technique for zipping yourself into these things. It might just be you, Sergio. I don't know. Anybody else got an issue? I haven't got any problems with dropped frames or anything, Sergio. So possibly you try refresh, Sergio. Try refresh. So yeah, I don't know what the ladies do to zip themselves into their dresses and stuff like that, apart from like get married. So I've got that problem to sort. So I think I might need a long piece of string, and then be able to. Does it, Peter? Good evening, by the way, Peter, or good afternoon rather. Tie something to the zip. Thank you very much, Catherine. I was actually thinking of like a long bit of string, which I can. The problems of being single. Can't get into my Halloween costume. That's the one of the problems of being single. But yeah, definitely an important one for next week though. So I'll ask bondage, Dave. It feels a bit bondagey. But for the day I tried it on, it was like really cold, and I put it on. I was like, for it being like one very thin layer, I was like, actually, this is almost cozy. Do I stop between phrases? I don't know. I'm not sure, Serge. I'm not sure. That sounds a bit drastic, Peter. I can't. I might be lucky, Peter, but I can't actually update it to version 24 or whatever it is. I can't update. So I haven't got. There's some processor missing on my current processor. There's a bit of technology on the processor that doesn't actually allow me to update to the latest Premiere Pro or Audition and After Effects. So I'm stuck on version 23 forevermore. So we'll just see. But yeah. Yeah, so that's coming next week. So I expect you guys all to be in fancy dress as well, because it is Halloween. Especially you Americans, because that's all you do. You know, remember, it is a Halloween holiday, an American holiday. Well, that's what it feels like if you're British. It's like, well, the Americans go nuts over it. So I expect you all to be in fancy dress next week, and I will need photographs submitted so you can prove it. But also slightly exciting, but also kind of nerve-wracking because I need to sort out the technology. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, with the mask on as well, Simon. Half naked with a mask, and then me going around and saying, "Can you zip me in, please?" Good idea. So yeah, in 2 weeks' time, so the week after the Halloween stream, there is going to be a guest on stream. If there's going to be. Yes, I have, Andrew. Yes, I just need to sort out the technology of it all. So I think I know how to do it, but I can't be sure. I think it's just going to be one of them. Suck it and see, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, then potentially have to do it a different way. I don't know. But anyways, so there will be a guest in 2 weeks' time, and we'll be looking at a particular piece of software as well. So there you go. I mean, the software's already out, so it's not like some uber secretive preview or anything like that. It's it's just playing with a new piece of a new to me piece of software to see how I get on with it. Thought I was getting into Mexican wrestling. No. Although I do appreciate the Mexican style of wrestling, and the old masks and all that. But yes, my mask might be quite similar to Mexican wrestling masks. Don't want to give the game away too much. I think I've already said enough. Although I have, just as a warning before you start spamming the chat with ideas of thoughts of what it might be, the right answer is listed in the tip game. So just in case you see it, it will cost you money. This week anyway. I'll obviously switch it off for next week. Meppies. So anyways. Right, so anyway, yes. So yesterday I left the house, as you may have seen from the title of the stream. And I headed over to Cumbria. Yeah, very sneaky Andrew, you see. Thinking the bank managers had words. I went over to Cumbria yesterday for a camera club talk last night. Yeah, and Jen didn't even tell me to do it either. It was my own idea. Yeah, it's not. Don't worry, it's not Mexican wrestling. Okay, Peter. Well done. Good thing sold. So anyways, I was across in Cumbria yesterday for a camera club talk. So I left the house and I even left the county. So I was going to do loads of photography on the way over. And it was cloudy all day. So I didn't have any nice light to use. I did have a walk along to Sycamore Gap. Site of the famous tree cutting down saga. Safe to say I'll not be walking along there anytime soon again. There's very little to go there for now, but I did feel I needed to go along and see what it was like for myself. So it's all a bit depressing and all a bit empty, and lots of people coming around to see what's going on. Not for me, somebody else. And yeah, it's very depressing. That spot with no tree. It's very different. So I did take some pictures, well, some ICM images of the gap, sans tree, and whether I'll actually ever get around to editing them, I don't know. But I did take some phone snaps. Did I upload them anywhere? I think I put some on Instagram stories. So if they're still live, because I can't remember when I actually put them on, they might be already off by now, because they only last 24 hours, don't they? So yes, but yes, it's all a bit rubbish and a bit empty there. But the place I did go before there is a place called Thockrington, and it's a little church that sits on the top of a brow of a hill, and there's basically all that's next to it, all it's got around it. There's just a little farm next to it, and that's it. And it's out in the wilds, up on the, I wouldn't say on the moor. Still no new tier. No, takes a while for trees to grow, Serge. It'll take them bloody 10 years to figure out what they're going to do. Things don't move quickly around here, Serge. So I went to this lovely little church, and unfortunately there was no light. It was thick overcast cloud, so it was very hard to get any decent images of it. But I did take a few. I didn't take as many as what I would normally do. Like normally I would have been there for half an hour and come away with 200 or 300. But I was there for maybe 20 minutes and took 71. Politics, exactly, Sergio. Exactly. So that's the plan for tonight, is go like basically have a quick look to see what images are made of that particular church. I didn't do my usual thing of like 30 or 40 shots of a particular view. I basically got maybe 10 shots per view. So my usual way of blending together 4, 5, 6 frames together, that's probably not going to happen tonight. Because I was disappointed what the images looked like on the back of the camera as I was taking them. I had no light. It was dull and overcast. So I was not really prepared to waste way more time. So we'll just have to make do with what I did capture and see if we can actually make something from it. So we'll see. So that's the plan for tonight. So hopefully we'll get something, because it is a lovely spot, but it's definitely somewhere I would go back to in the right weather. Good evening, Jen. Oh, good morning, Jen. Sorry. How are you? Lovely to have you back. Right. So before we get into that, obviously we better remind you of all the stuff that we have going on. If I press that button, no, it's the wrong one. I press that button. There we go. So just a reminder that I do have a merch store. If you weren't here 2 weeks ago when I launched it. Was it launched? Did I launch it that week, or was it? No, that's when I rebranded everything, wasn't it? So the merch site is online. I haven't quite got round to doing the Sycamore Gap section yet. Been busy. But yeah, if you're after a new T-shirt for any reason, or a mug to send to a loved one or something, then keep me in mind. Head over to that website, which I haven't got a button for. Oh no, I do. I press that there, and press that, and then press that. So long-winded. It should eventually get there. So, right, if I turn that one off. And also, notice to the Patreon, or I shouldn't call you patrons on Patreon, should I? A notice to all Red Knights, because that's what the branding is now. The bloody gas thing and my chair's gone. Keeps on drooping. All Red Knights this Friday will be the community chat, which I still haven't renamed. So please, any ideas on what to give that a cool, fun name that isn't like the community Zoom chat. That will be this Friday, 7:30 UK time if you're around. Those of you that are Red Knights, whether you're the round table. I did think about that, Jen, kind of, but I thought it was a bit... to me, it sounded a bit official, if you get what I mean. I was thinking more something about taverns, that kind of thing. Too authoritarian, I think, really, to be honest, Jen, not Arthurian. But no, I think it was just, it felt a bit official. But I mean, it's definitely an option. Definitely an option. So that'll be this Friday if you're available, if you're a Red Knight. It'd be lovely to see you all. No worries. No worries, Peter. You could always dial in, you know. No, I'm only joking. Have a lovely time away, Peter. Hope you're going somewhere nice. Which will be missed. I'll nearly have to remind Andrew, because he always messages like a day later and go, oh, I forgot another one. So we'll see. But I'll be sending out the links for that probably Thursday. Maybe it's tomorrow. We'll see. I've got quite a bit to do tomorrow though, so I'm not sure. We'll see. Custom in. Do you think you would get wrong, Peter? Would you be in the bad books if you did such a thing? But, I don't want to cause issues. But no, if those of you that can get access, then anybody can get access. You can join right this minute, and to be able to get access to whatever I will call the next Zoom chat. It'll be happening in 2 days' time, 3 days' time. I thought so, Peter. I thought so. Best not to dial in then. But yeah, you can join via Patreon or via YouTube using that extension. I mean, on YouTube, there's the join button below. And I will fill out the more sections on that eventually. I just haven't got to it yet. So if you want to go to the Patreon and join there, it's probably a better option at the moment. Plus the split for me is a bit better as well. So yeah. Right, turn that off. Thank you. So we will, anything else I need to mention? Oh, before, yes, I kind of teased it but earlier. So I have ordered something that will hopefully help stream on YouTube. And it was released last week, and you might, if you're on YouTube and watch certain creators, then you may have seen it. But Elgato have released a new product. Elgato makes things such as like the Stream Deck, which I find very useful. And they do a few microphones and that kind of stuff. But I do very much like their gear. They're basically there to do tools for streaming and content creation and whatever. But they've released a teleprompter, with its own screen, and basically. Not that I'm going to be doing anything like reading any scripts or anything, but it does mean that I could have the chat on the teleprompter. So instead of me looking over here every 5 seconds to see what you're saying, the chat will be scrolling away in front of me. So I think that'll be really useful, and it'll be useful for doing YouTube normally as well. Because I know how bad I am in front of camera when I'm trying to do recorded stuff. So yes, it's a fancy teleprompter, and it's got its own screen, and it looks lovely. and I do always say in the Patreon thing that people, the money that's contributed in Patreon will go towards advancing stream and making and advancing YouTube and the photography and all that. It'll be ploughed into that. I can tell you that the money from Patreon has certainly gone into purchasing that prompter. So it'll hopefully make things a lot better for yourselves, and hopefully it'll be better for a viewership on you for you, and hopefully it'll be easier for me, because basically I'll be able to move this screen here to basically right in front of me. So I'll be able to read it straight off, basically looking into the camera. So I'm not spending half the stream looking 180 degrees to the right. Is it 100? Well, 90 degrees to the right anyway. So hopefully it'll be better for yourselves, and a bit more professional looking. Not that we're about things being professional around here, but there you go. Right, so that's 2 weeks of news kind of caught up with, and we're nearly at 8 o'clock, so I better get on with some image editing. What are you on about now? You could order one, Jen. It's actually, I was saying, because I did message Jen the other day about it. It is, because when I ordered it, it said it would be dispatched something like the end of January. I'm like, oh crap. But I did get a notice that it will be dispatched around about the 8th of November. So they will be. Yeah, I think they probably were, Jen. I think they were sold. I think they were pretty much sold out by the time I ordered mine. Hence, it's not being sent out till like the 8th. Yeah, that's my thing as well, Jen. Is the fact that I can look at things, looking straight down there, and basically making sure that. I mean, if I move OBS onto this prompter, then I'll be able to see if things are actually working right, rather than constantly having to look over here. So, but yes, hopefully by mid-November I should have it, so that'll be pretty good. So obviously we've got next week, and then we've got the guest and the software play around the week after. So potentially, maybe by the week after that, we might have it. We might. Red Knights District is a good name. That might be kind of give other connotations, which not exactly, what we're trying to encourage there, Serge. That people might come for a different reason. Oh, that's good, Jen. So you're going for one as well now. God, if only Elgato had an affiliate program. Right. So, right. Image editing. Everybody's run away because I'm just blabbing. Right. Let's switch to this. There we are. Right. So this little church, Thockrington Church. It's a bit of a mouthful for. Hey, nothing wrong with that though, Jen. Providing you want that kind of thing. Right. So this little church, obviously these are all ICM images. So it sits itself on the top of this like hill. Supposedly, there was a village around it at one time, but I read today that there was a cholera outbreak in the mid 1800s. A sailor had brought cholera back and basically wiped the village out, so they burned it to the ground. So now it's just a church and a farm next to it, and so it looks when you look at it, it's just on the top of a hill, and there's nothing around it apart from like sheep. So it looks really dramatic, and I've seen it on TV as like settings for drama series and things like that. So it's a cool little church. Why is it? Oh, it's because I'm on the development job. That's why it's not letting me rule. So we have there. Like I said, some of this data isn't the best, so I'm not sure what we're going to get today. It might be, we probably haven't got the best of results. But like I said, the lighting was pretty poor. Pretty poor. So I didn't spend 100 shots of each angle. That was pretty much 17 shots of the first angle, and then we're into a different angle. So I did kind of struggle with composition a little bit. Is that Andrew? You keep on saying things like that. I'm definitely going to have to be coming to visit, which I know you always say to do so. But one day I will actually. Actually, that's quite a nice one. That one. Might mix in with some detailed-y kind of shots. That's why you're telling me these things, to get me down there. So yeah, because of the light, I was struggling with my usual movements, so I had to do stuttery kind of stuff. And to be honest, I haven't like really looked through these yet to see how good or bad or indifferent they are. Maybe it's all right. So I don't know how usable some of these are, because they're all. Some of them are pretty terrible. Just could not, with the conditions, I just struggled. And then I've come out of the church. So do you refresh the browser, you will catch up again. Yeah, it feels like you're a long way behind the live. So potentially these views from outside the church wall, or maybe is the way to be going. I don't know whether this is because I was eventually getting me wrist limbered up or getting my eye in. I think they were a little bit better. But none of them really give us the kind of feel that I really kind of wanted. It was just so tricky to get much from. So tonight, like I say, it might be a bit of a struggle. And then we went to Sycamore Gap, and you can see, obviously this is ICM data, but you can see how different it kind of is with the gap there. Very disappointing. Sad. No tree. But I did quite a nice little view along the wall above Mile Castle. I think it's 33. Mile Castle 33. So yes, up and down these bloody hills to walk to it, or walk back from it. I was knackered. Absolutely knackered. And the route I usually go to get along to Sycamore Gap, I was shutting the gate behind us, and I realised it said no public access, and I'm like, I've been coming this way for about 7 years. Maybe search, keep workshopping it. Yeah, keep thinking, everybody. Keep thinking. That one for a bit of detail. That one. Then we might use some of these. Some with lesser movement, I think. Yeah, right. We'll have a go at this. With this, oh well, then that's a different view, isn't it? Yes. At what point did I move? Because that angle is different to certainly that angle. So let's assume this angle is that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So that's 6 of that layer. Okay. How intricate an image I'm going to make tonight, I'm not sure, because the data is poor. Conditions were a struggle, so it might be a case of, if it's not really working, just get it to a certain point and abandon ship. We'll have to see. And hopefully Lightroom and Photoshop will be talking to each other tonight. I did have an issue last week on my one-to-one where it was still not talking to it. So I had to uninstall and reinstall and uninstall and reinstall, and it eventually got there. So we will see. Right, so lens correction's done that. DL, flatten the ISO, basic, and then maybe just warm it. Maybe it's not warming up that much. There we go. They've changed the buttons around, haven't they? Forgetting about that. No, that's terrible. So you're a long way off from what I was actually thinking. You've got to think about talking, because that's what it's going to be about, isn't it? Community. Yeah, and the talk I did last night, because it's a one adapted from that I did for the ICM photo network. I think it was for them. Was it them, or was it another subgroup of that? Anyways, it was So it was a bit more heavily on the business side of things and the making money side of things. So I was obviously saying how great, it's all thinking about community and supporters and memberships and all this kind of stuff, which is true because it's a huge part of it. Like I say, it's the best part of it, obviously. Having such dedicated followers, which you all are, I'm very, very much appreciated. Yeah, you know what I mean. Still can't talk for toffee. Right, so dust spotting, if there's any. Clean as a whistle. Okay. I think I did shoot these at about f5.6 or something. So, because it was so dull. So dull. Right, so has anybody actually played with the new colour tools in Lightroom? Could be quite good. To get a bit more red in. To do things like this. Yeah, I mean, like, it's I haven't played with it a lot, but from what I've seen, it's like, ooh, this is going to be a big difference maker. I haven't really, like I say, I haven't played with it a lot, so I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just clotting around at the moment. What's this do? Is that? No, just. Okay, now I've broken something. Don't touch anything, Andy. It's also to encourage people in as well, Serge. Who let the nights out is a bit. Oh, good God! I don't want to hang out with them lot. They're all wild. The camera's gone off. How long's that been off? Probably about 10 minutes. Nobody told us. Right, maybe dial it back a little bit. There, right, there we go. Yeah, like I say, I haven't played with this a lot. I think I will continue to do a bit more. Okay, that's that. All right, very good. Hopefully give us a bit of a... So this colour, there's no colour. Okay, fair enough. Just thought I would test it, because to me it looked a bit green. Right, so that's that. And that'll probably do for the whole lot. Yeah. So let's just sync these across. And stick them into Photoshop and hopefully they'll work. Open as layers. Whilst that's happening, I will stick on an ad break if it works. The button anyway. And in the meantime, I'll come back to presenting screen. For those of you that haven't left us. Yes, nights is a keyword, Jen. No. Well, the amount of use it's getting at the moment, might have to turn it off. But yeah. Very good, Andrew. Very good. 10 points to Gryffindor for that one, Andrew. Hey, Peter, that's quite a good idea. Might have to do it. Might have to do it. Still loading, obviously, as you can probably tell by the way the picture freezes. One early there, though. Nearly there. I don't know whether you've all noticed, anybody that uses ad blockers like me, but on YouTube, bloody YouTube's managed to intercept them all. Really annoying. I get adverts now. So frustrating. But yeah, it's just bloody sitting there one day and all of a sudden it comes up. YouTube does not allow ad blockers. So I was like, oh man. Immediately start searching around. Can't find anything. Nobody seems to be able to get it to work. It's all a bit frustrating and annoying. So we'll see if the revenue jumps a little bit this month. Or next month, I should say. Yeah, it's I think it was saying that you could watch 3 videos and then it would lock you. You know, it would stop letting you play the videos or something like that. So I was nearly tempted again for for premium. And then I'm thinking, I spent the amount of money I'm spending monthly on various services, and I'm just like, what a waste. Excuse me. God, I slept so well last night after I had like 5 hours driving yesterday. Slept so well last night. I was almost disappointed it was 7:30 so quickly. All I wanted to do was stay in bed for another 7 hours. Oh no, it's a different scale. Crap. Edit, transform. Does that mean they're all out of scale? Yeah, hold on a minute. This one will tell us. Yeah, it's the back one that's... Is it? Yeah. The back one that's out. Edit, transform. Yeah, about there. Don't need to be too precise. Oh no, it's. I was, to be honest, Simon, I was surprised. I mean, it's 12. I think it was 12. It's 12.99. I'm just like, oh, bloody hell. Well, that's a lot for YouTube. Had it been like $5.99, I would have done it. But $12.99, bloody hell. Oh no, Jen, no, that's the worst. So you do enough work during the day. You don't need to be dreaming about work as well. That's just not on. Get these lined up. See, this one's feels like it's shorter as well. No, Surge something like night time. Now we're starting to think about it. Like a nighttime, because it'll be nighttime for me. I don't know about the rest. Oh, obviously, the rest. The people that usually turn up, it's usually afternoon. But yeah, it's like nighttime talks or nighttime. Maybe something about drinking at night. Not that we do any drinking apart from like tea and coffee, isn't it? I don't think we need all these layers in this image. I think because that's quite in a way that's quite nice, but it's not really. So we'd have that one in to add a bit more on the left hand side. We probably don't need any more on there. So if we use a mask, and we'll mask this out. Nice and soft like so. Just drag it across handy, man. Andrew, my reputation is probably bad enough without calling something stalk. So the gravestones are a bit fader there. Okay. Now, if I take that, no, we don't want to take that much out. No, we want that on there. If we reduce the opacity of this one, just slightly. No, quite like that before. Right, okay, so what else? That one's very strong. Nope, didn't mean to have that on there. Why is undo? Right, turn that on. Make sure that's selected. Move tool, Andy. Remember what tool you've got open. Okay, that's up there. All right, so that's there. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I don't think this layer is going to be doing much at all. So don't really need that. It's a bit shame we haven't really got any definition around this area on any of these layers. Well, we kind of do there. He tells a lie. So maybe we mask this very faded. So we fade this one out. It's not really in line with those bits. But if we're only really thinking about this kind of area, we can... But then again, we don't want them too precise because that's going to make it tricky. So if we fade this down to 20, yeah, about 20%, and then we'll mask out the surrounding bits that it's affecting. Well, it's affecting much. So we'll do an inverted mask, and then the paintbrush, which is that, and we want that. We'll increase that to about 50. Painting in with, we want to switch that to white. And just paint in this area here, like so. A bit like that. You can see the difference is minimal, but hopefully just provides a little bit more there. Maybe just get rid of a little bit more of that. Is it that layer? Not sure I want to get rid of that much. So this we could do very weak, so maybe 15%. Get a mask on that, a normal mask, an eraser. Switch that, and just lighten this up very slightly. There we go. Something about that. Gosh, it's 20 past 8 already. Right, we've barely got there yet. Okay, we've got to that point. Right, so we're ignoring these two layers. Aren't we? Yes, we'll ignore these two layers. So we're going to dump that one. And dump that one. Right, so it's a 4-layer image. Adjustment level, adjustment layers, I should say. Hue and saturation. Just a little bit tweak. See what we're going to do. A little bit of orange. A little bit of tweak there. Boost, deny. Back to 0. Okay. That's fine. Adjustment layer, let's go for a curve. See what we need to do here. Lighten, darken. I know it's quite dull, but let's try to make it a little bit more lively. So bring it just out of the corner of that sky. There. There, drop this down and lift it a bit. No, this maybe about there, maybe. I don't know. Let's try the color trick. Paint bucket tool, where's that? I haven't set it yet. Onto there. Hue blend mode. Anything crazy that catches the eye. Hue blend mode, please. Thank you very much. And let's drop that strength to about 36. Does that make a bit of a difference? It's going to kill that green a little bit. That's good. That's good. Knight's meet and greet. Yeah, I like it closer. Crimson Clicker's conflict. That's a bit referencey to photography, to be honest, Jen. Because when do we ever talk about photography? Honestly. No worries, Jen. Oh, it's all good. It's all good. But something like nighttime or something. I will continue for, and then, and then by Friday, I might have come up with something. There was that one time. I think that was one of the times when Andrew appeared. He likes to talk about photography. That's when we all ended up looking at brutalistic buildings all over the world, weren't we? That was me wanting to have a chat with my friends. It's always good fun. Don't let that put you off, people. If you want to talk about photography, we can talk about photography. Thank you. Oh, well, Andrew's been big into his pinhole stuff, so he used to do workshops for pinhole. Right, this sky is very blank, so I don't know what we're going to get here. But we will stick it in the Analog Effects Pro. I'll give that a click and I'll send you all off, or some of you all off. Some of you off for an advert whilst that is loading. So those of you that are on adverts, see you in a moment. And the rest of us. It could be worse, Peter. You could have stepped on your glasses. Red Night Roundup. Yeah. Well, things, Jen. Me being the drink obsessed, semi-alcoholic, or wishes he was an alcoholic. I don't know. Still haven't updated this. I want to do something based around drinking. I don't know. And then it's like, meeting in the pub. I don't know, something like that. I must, I must admit, Andrew, I'm getting a bit nervous when I'm like going to the toilet and then taking my phone with us to like sit and watch TikTok for like half an hour or whatever. Not half an hour. That's a joke. But I was getting a bit nervous when I've got in my hand going to flush, and is it going to slip? And one day, the phone is going to end up in the toilet. I know for a fact. It'll be one of them days where I've eventually got round to buying an iPhone at a great expense. Yeah, I think there was something. I think it was moot hall, because moot is a moot's like a medieval term for a meeting, isn't it? I just presumed that's what he meant, a mobile. I thought about something to do with a moot. I will do more thinking. I will do more research. Right, so I think this is going to end up being quite a simple image today, because it's pretty basic. Unless I go quite heavy on the second exposure. So obviously using my presets to look at imagery here. And of course, if you are interested in such presets, where's the button? That one. You can go with that. It's all a very three words with the same starting letter. Very much like that today, Jen. Right, some presets which you can find in the chat there and in the links below. We do have such fun. We do have such fun. Right, I'm kind of attracted by this kind of colour here. By some of these choices of edits. Not edits, you know what I mean. I'm just wondering if we can make the sky a little bit more exciting. Like so. Like very much like so. But will it retain the we move this around. Retain the identity. Well, I mean, to be honest, from this angle, because it was such a crappy day, you don't really get the definition of the entire building as a recognizable location. So I hope some of you have actually been to read the article about the Red Knights, seeing as it's been on the screen so many times today, to see the reasoning for it and the explanation why and how and so on and so forth. Maybe that's getting a little bit better. Maybe rotate that a little bit more. Maybe it's that line that came in there. If we move that across there, we can get a definitive line along the image. This is straight. Potentially, like so. With that yellow coming in, quite lovely. And if we do it like about there, we know we can chop it off for a 16:9 about here. Maybe, to be honest, it might be one of these ones that come back in for a second layering just to see what it does. Turn that brightness down. It needs a bit of brightness in there, doesn't it? Detail, more detail. Ooh, now we're getting a little bit more dramatic there, but maybe that's the wrong tool to be using there. So if we bring in contrast. A bit more detail extraction. And then that's bringing in a really nice area here. Again, it's not helping any definition here, but that's potentially sort that out in another edit as a secondary edit. This is quite nice. We're now getting some interest in the sky. So that's pretty good. It's back to second exposure. If we move this around a little bit. Trick is not to let go. Now, right, so actually having that there is maybe not up there, maybe a bit further down here. Left a bit, right a bit. Hold it about there. Let go. Okay, maybe we need a little bit more brightness in here. No, not scale. Rotate. There we go. Okay, bring it down further. Back to that. Okay, so we have lens vignette, which we haven't done anything with yet. Turn that on, Andy, for God's sake. We bring this over here. We'll retain the darkness here. It's a bit heavy-handed. Obviously, still got the issue of things not quite. I think we just do. I think we need more brightness, to be honest. Or secondary brightness. Let's go back to that. That was about 8, wasn't it? 10. I hate this interface. I can't see a damn thing. Really, Tim? Oh, that's really cool. Thank you very much, Tim. Welcome along, by the way. Hopefully your students didn't see too many of these live streams because there's not a lot of photography going on in them. But that always kind of, I wouldn't say it freaks me out, but I just find it remarkable that people are looking at what I do and like mimicking that kind of thing. So that's very cool to find out, Tim. Thank you very much. But yeah, you probably see me going very red now. That always blows my mind because I'm just like a little fella that lives in a tiny little village in the northeast of England that does this style of photography because he's got other things going on and can't do normal photography. So that's quite the boost. But thank you very much for that feedback, Tim. You're welcome back anytime. And your students. Welcome back anytime. So hopefully they don't like all unsubscribe at the same time. I'm trying to get to 10k. We've got 270 to go or something like that. I think it's on the screen, isn't it? My maths is right. 266. Yeah. You would have thought I did maths at school. But thank you, Tim. That's very, very kind. Made my evening, that. Right, so there's that there, that there. I think what I'll probably do is take this back into Photoshop, come back and try to bring a bit of detail back into here, but also lighten this area further and maybe a bit more of a light area. Why bloody this scan? Why does it always happen at this time of the day? Stop. God damn it. Pick your times, antivirus person. Right, okay, so are they going to change any colours? I don't think so. No. Leave it at that. I'm going to apply that coming back into Photoshop and then come back in. I know, exactly, Andrew. That's what I'm like. I'm just me doing my thing. Yeah, well, I feel exactly the same, Andrew. I don't think it's just. I feel like it's not justified either. Because I'm just doing this to please my own artistic tastes. But no, it's very, very cool. Very cool to have something like that. Somebody say that, something like that. Right, so what I want to do, I'm going to create a new layer of that. I'm going to activate that, and I'm actually going to bring that onto the top layer. I'm going to mask that out. I'm going to go for a very weak. That was 15, wasn't it? I need to switch that to white. Actually, maybe 15 is a bit strong. Let's bring this down to 10. See what that's like. Will you stop it, Photoshop? Just paint this. Just see if there's going to be any kind of detail comes through. There's a little bit there coming through. Because what I don't want to do is all of a sudden turn out pretty mucky. Right. It's a bit... it's a bit mucky now. But we can change the blend mode on that to something a bit more interesting. Overlay, soft light. Just something where that detail kind of comes through, but not like that. I don't know if there is or not. There might not be a blend mode that I kind of... We go darken and then change the opacity. So there is a little, if you can see here's the odd line here, but then we need to increase the bright. Well, we're going to increase the brightness in there anyway. I would like to increase the brightness here as well. So that's in Photoshop, isn't it? Right. If we very rarely I do this. I'm going to do this in camera roll. Convert a smart object. I barely ever use that either because I'm old and used Photoshop for too long to still appreciate what smart objects do for me. They've only been part of Photoshop for what, nigh on 10 years now. And I still don't stop it. And I still don't use it enough as much. Filter, and what I'm looking for, camera raw filter. So basically, instead of going to Lightroom and coming back, I'm going to use Lightroom because I don't want to use not radial blends, radial filters, masks. If I remember where they are in camera raw, where are they? Shows you how much I don't use camera raw. Move across the screen, please. Or you move that way so I can see what's going on. Okay, my camera's gone off again. Okay, so anybody that uses this a lot got a click. I know Peter does. Thanks. This is me starting just to have a bit of an explore. Oh, here we are. Is that filters, masking. There we go. That's what we want. We don't want all this. Go away. Try on my own. Go away. We want a radial gradient. Click it. Thank you. Thank you. That's as bloody slow as before. So we want a big bright area there. Increase the exposure like so. Let's actually narrow that one down. The only thing it does affect the previous colours a little bit in a strange manner. I did want that brightness there, and I want this area brightened up as well. So I want a new mask for over here. You've all gone quiet again. Am I offline? Oh no. Right, yeah, I want this area to be lighter. We want that to be over here a bit. Yes, definitely working, Jen. None of this spending time watching me stammer my way through this. Increase shadows. Actually, maybe open the shadows, it'll probably be enough. We do have this dark area in here, which is not ideal. But we're probably going for a bit more of an evening-y kind of look for that. Yes, I'll probably do for that. So we'll okay that, and that'll go back into Photoshop. Like so. So, yes, that's open up a little bit. A little bit. That's gone back into. Excuse me. Right. One final little try. I'm still going to try to get a little bit of detail into here. So I'm going to come back to this layer, or this set, back to Analog Effects Pro, pick out the same filter, not the same filter, the same preset. It was down in the S's, wasn't it? Sketchy Castle or something like of that nature. So that was that one, or was it another one? It may have been this one actually. I think it might have been this one. Second exposure, and if we move this around until we get, I mean, there was on a lot of detail in there, was there? Yeah, that's almost like, well, it's almost almost purposely done, Andrew. Yeah, it's the kind of thing I can never really explain. Just one of them things I just like, it just happens. Right, so, yeah, something like that, because that gives it a kind of a ridge line there. Kind of. And I will increase the brightness to get it a little bit closer to what is already there. Increase that. If I drop that down, I can maybe fill in that area that was down here that was a bit too black. a bit too mucky, where there was no real image, data left. So these kind of lines hopefully will kind of blend together with it. So we'll see. Right, well, let's just leave that as there. We'll apply that, and then that'll come into there, and then hopefully get into that. And if you understood any of that, well done. You've been here for weeks and weeks and weeks. And know what I'm like. So. Excuse me. Drank half a bottle of this. I think I'll be up all bloody night. Awake all night anyway. Oh, probably up half the night as well. Right, so that one on. Turn them on, and then filter. It's a bit much, to be honest, I think. Yeah, I think it's always going to be a bit of an issue. It's one of them things I probably had to try, but it's not gonna. You ain't gonna do it. So if I use normal there, turn that off, turn that on. I need to drop that down and go lighten. Just to fade in this corner here. Thingy mask that, paint in white, yeah, and then just paint in along this edge. That should get rid of that brown colour that if I ever was to print this image, it would make it impossible to print, basically, because it'd be just a mucky brown. So you can see that kind of gives it more data there. We've still got that bright area there, which, to be honest, we could probably brighten even more. Let's make this a big brush, like so, and just do the one click. That'll do for that. That'll do for that. Yeah, so I'll abandon any. Well, actually, make that smaller and run that across there. Is that going to bring anything out of that kind of edge? Maybe it's not. Yeah, very little. Yeah, because I changed the blend mode, didn't I, to lighten, so it's just not going to have any effect. Anyways, right, so that's that to that. You're listening, Serge. Serge, you're way behind as well on the stream. Because I asked, is anybody still out there about 5 minutes ago? Is the connection to Europe longer? Was it just me? Right, so what am I doing? I don't know. Curves adjustment layer anyway. You've gone, Andrew. I can tell. A little bit of a curve there. Turn that on, turn that off. Yeah, I think that'll probably do. I don't think we're going to add anything else. Yes, I mean the hilarity always dies off when you're not here, Andrew. You are the comedic genius that keeps us all going. Right, see if I save this. Back to Photoshop. And I'll give you, I'll stick you on a quick ad break whilst that's saving. I know it's on a TIFF these days, but it's so they do save a little bit quicker than when I was doing PSDs. No, 4 gig doesn't. It's not 4 gig, surely. How is that 4 gig? How cancel. Okay, all right. Let's flatten some of these bloody layers. Let's flatten. Merge layers. Right. So if I go to document sizes, 1.1. Right. We'll try again now. File, save. Just save it. Simple. Okay. Okay. What? Why are you asking these things all of a sudden? It may well have done, Serge. It may well have done. It may well have been. Have you not, Simon? That's because I pressed a button. I think they only started recently. Have you been using an ad blocker for a while as well, Simon? But yeah, the thing is, Simon, it could be worse because YouTube say we can manage when you want to put adverts on, and I'm like, no, because I could be in the middle of a joke. I could be in the middle of an intricate explanation of how to do something. It's going to be bloody useless if it suddenly cuts out for 30 seconds to go for an advert and I come back and I've moved on. So I'd rather control the adverts for when I'm loading things in or saving things. Can't interrupt the jokes, exactly, Jen, because it's just hilarity here, obviously. Right, is this in... it is in Lightroom. Yay! Right, give that 3 stars, obviously, because it's world class. There's another joke for today. Right, so crop time. We need to create some virtual copies, obviously. Now this one is going to be a little bit strange because I think it kind of works at its current ratio. So let's just make sure it's 3:2. Oh well. That's a 3:2. Let's try some other crops. Still haven't posted anything on Instagram for ages, so we'll need something that might fit on Instagram. This one's not going to fit on Instagram. Oh no, Simon, I know. I hate it as well. I hate the ones you can't skip as well. And watching an 8-minute video and you get 2 bloody adverts in it, as well as the one at the start. I mean, what the bloody hell? After you've been sat down and watched the this 8-minute video, and after 1 minute you get a bloody advert, an unskippable one that lasts 40 seconds, and you're just like, really? It should be like a TV thing, so it's 15 minutes, and then you get an advert. Yeah, well, orange today, Serge. We are. But where there's orange, there's always a hint of red. Even this down here could be hinting towards red. Yeah, so I don't think there's an Instagram square crop here, to be honest. Is there a 4:5? I don't think so, to be honest, because I think I'm always getting away with that. I like having the edge of the church in. We've just got that hint of light there, so potentially it's not ideal. but it's better than it not working. I know. It's rubbish. But if you're a Twitch creator, you can stream anywhere and everywhere now. They announced a load of stuff last week at TwitchCon at the weekend. Was it the weekend it was on? I think it's a bit of a Hail Mary pass to try to survive, to try to be in existence in a couple of years' time. Because, my God, it's poor. I wouldn't bother, Andrew, to be honest. It is going down the Swanee. It feels like it's rapidly dying. It might just be me and what I'm watching on it, but it's poor out there. I mean, Jen's on it a lot, so she'll know what it's like from the other people that you help out, Jen. But certainly the ones I'm kind of watching are moving on to other platforms and doing way better. So there you go. 16 by 9 seems to work, which is handy because it's nearly time for wallpapers. And you know what wallpapers mean? Wallpapers mean if you are a Red Knight, you can join Patreon and get wallpapers at the beginning of every month. Oh, I know it's awful, Simon. It's awful. It really is. Yeah, but Jen, do you not think that's like that's like an almost final resort to make sure that they still survive? Because everybody is going to YouTube and TikTok and Kick. I know. I mean, a lot of those platforms aren't perfect, but some people are doing way better. I mean, all they need to do is work on the bloody discoverability, and it would be way better. But anyways, that's a different discussion. That's a discussion for Friday. Right, so I think out of these few crops, I think it's either the 3x2, which is basically what we've been editing the entire time, or it's the 16 by 9. I don't think the narrow off ones kind of fit the frame. But yeah, quite a nice little image. Got some nice light in it, which is quite impressive, seeing as there was no light. Got a little bit of drama into it. So yeah, reasonably happy with that image, and obviously it's got very much the colour scheme that I usually make. But yeah, quite nice. Never, Andrew. Jesus. It's I've never had an issue with Patreon. The only time I had an issue with Patreon is that after having a Patreon for about a year and a half, and I had like one subscriber for that year, and by the time it was worth cashing out, that because I was like, I had one subscriber paying like £3 a month, so I just left it and left it and left it and left it and left it, and then eventually I was like, right, worth taking out now, and they were like, oh, we're investigating this because this is strange behaviour, and I'm like, oh, for God's sake. But it did eventually go through. But no, it's I like Patreon. It's got its issues, but I think it's changing. It's getting better. You can join, actually, if you want to follow me on Patreon. You can join for free, but you'll not see any posts unless they're in the free like publicly available. So you'll probably get notifications for posts that you can't view, which is an encouragement to subscribe, to pay to become a Red Knight. And it's £3.50 if you're in the UK. Bottom tier, you still get most of the benefits. There's a scaling benefit for the discount on merch, which I will eventually email everybody's codes out to them, by the way. I did make them the other day, and I haven't got around to notifying everybody of the discount codes. If you're after any merch and would like a little discount, there's another good reason to join the Patreon. Become a Red Knight. Right, so that is tonight. Anyone in the second scene? Bloody hell. Yeah, strange company. Strange. Anyways, right. So that's our image for tonight. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the creative process, and hope you enjoyed the blather that we've had, because it's been quite enjoyable from my side of things. If you've enjoyed the stream and you're still here and you haven't already, please do leave the stream a like. Helps with visibility and stuff. What else? Anything else? Too many to get lost. Yeah, if you are on the Red Knights, then you have whatever we call the Zoom chat on Friday. So if you're available, do come along for that. I need to change this to me. There we go. That button there. So yeah, do come along for that if you're available. And remember, next Tuesday there will I will be here editing images as normal, but I will be in fancy dress. So probably with Jen, to be honest, that's nearly what I'm almost going for. Mind readers. We got there in the end. That's pretty much what I was down to. Did I? I was thinking, Jen. I thought I'd showed you what I'm coming as, but it was somebody else that actually showed. So if you want the surprise spoiled, Jen, I will show you a sneak preview. But if you don't want the surprise spoil, I will refrain. No spoilers. Okay, you don't want spoilers. Oh, you'll be all right. Does that mean you'll be getting dressed up as well, Kathleen? Because I mean, you could forward a photograph. But yes, you'll be all trick or treating next week. So there'll be. Actually, I could maybe have a bowl of chocolate or something like that for myself next week as a treat. Although it's a full face mask, so I'll not actually be able to eat or drink. That's going to be interesting. There's a clue. Nice. Oh, is this the oh, I've forgotten what it's called. The number 1 costume, Jen. But yeah, so remember next week. Feel free to dress up as fancy dress, and if you do, send and if you're in the Discord, that's what she's called. I couldn't remember what she was called. Send us pictures, put them on the Discord or wherever, or send them to me somehow. That'll be for a bit of fun, and because that's what it's all about, having a bit of a laugh. I look forward to them, Jen. I look forward to them. And yes, so I'll be back next week, and hopefully I haven't trapped myself in my costume, because it would be embarrassing if I was stuck in that for any length of time. But we will see you next week. We'll see the Red Knights on Friday. Those of you that are available. And everybody else have a brilliant rest of the week, whatever you're doing. Probably working. But hopefully it's all right. Hopefully the weather stays all right for you. I know things are changing a bit. We had a massive storm last week. Not as bad as what they've had up north where Aileen is. I haven't actually heard from Aileen, so I don't know how bad it is up there. but it was pretty rough up in her area. Lots of flooding. So hopefully they're okay up there. No doubt we'll hear in due course. And yeah, right, that's enough waffling for tonight. Thank you all very much for coming along and spending your evenings and your afternoons with us. It's always lovely to see you all, and I do appreciate everything you do for me, whether it's turn up or subscribe or just like or whatever. Love it. I'm just very, very thankful for it all. So thank you very much. And we'll see you next Tuesday anyway. I'll be here, dressed up, hiding behind a mask. So if you're ever put off by this face, next week you will not see this face. So no, really good to see you all, and thank you again. I did miss you all last week, so just know that I did miss you last week. Right, I'm off. I better go and say hello to the dog. But I will see you next week, and see the rest of you on Friday. And as Peter said, night night.